it play and call it work.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of The Sit and Talk, where myself, Steve, MiniWarGaming Steve, will be answering your questions. Josh is here, as always, to entertain me, my little sidekick.
Why don't you try to not read the questions?
Yeah, so
Make your life a little
that's why I
easier.
don't have to read. No. So Josh, read my questions. Now there's a bunch of them, and I'm going to try to get through as many as I possibly can, and I'll answer them as honestly as I possibly can. Next week will be Matthew, so all questions should be for Matthew, say at Matthew, whatever. I post your questions to him. If you can post on the MiniWarGaming webpage, that would make it a lot easier for him to consolidate and get all the questions printed off so we can answer them properly. And we'll do this for 30 minutes. I'll do another 30 minutes in the vault. If you already have vault member, click the link below to watch me answer more questions for our vault members. So right to the questions, Josh. What's my first question?
From Naua.
Now,
Hey Steve, you always mention if you could either game or paint. You said you would paint. So based on painting alone, what faction from 40k, 30k fantasy, or other game systems do you find the most fun or challenging to paint?
fun or challenging? I don't know. Faction, it depends on, I'm trying to say. The last army I painted was a Dark Eldar, and I painted them because I really wanted to paint a Raider. So usually it's a model less than a faction that really gets me to want to paint something. So I'll paint a model, and then I'll paint more of the same army just so I can use it on the table somehow. So yeah, it's more model than faction. And I can say that I don't want to paint fantasy ever again. It's just too many models. We were talking about starting some more fantasy armies, and we just decided we'll get commission painters to do it because I don't want to paint that many models ever again. You don't want to paint for 150 hours for 50 goblins that are worth not even a tenth of your army. Mm-hmm. It's just so much to paint. I love the game though.
Kaios23, Steve, if you had to choose music for both you and Quirk to have and listen to in the office, what would it be? Also, what kind of music do the other members of MiniWarGaming like to listen to?
Quirk likes a little bit of everything, but he's a country boy. He likes country music.
Country and pop for the most part.
Yeah, it's country and pop, but he likes playing country music because I can't stand it. So
other than that, it's a lot of Taylor Swift, I think.
Yeah, honestly, that's not even a joke. He plays a lot of Taylor Swift. I don't know why. That's not a joke. He plays a lot of Taylor Swift. I like Godsmack is my favorite band. I prefer stuff like that. So I'll play anything from them as a theme music. I have no idea what Josh likes. Sesame Street theme song.
Yeah.
So you can tell me how to get. To Sesame Street. That's for Josh. Rob's probably similar music to myself. I'm not really sure. We haven't talked about it. Dave's he's a lot like me. Actually, anything in the '90s. Dave's got similar music taste, but I like a little harder stuff. And Matthew, I can't. I have no. Ask him right now. Actually.
Next up is Flatfoot. Steve, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized Steves or one Steve-sized duck?
Interesting. I'd fight either one of them. A duck, like a 400-pound duck? No, I'd probably lose to that. So no, I don't want to fight the 400-pound duck. Yeah. Now, fighting 100. Like if I ran into a back alley, and there's 100 of me that are this big, I'm like, hold on, guys, we can work together. And I have an army of 100 little mini Steves.
Would they follow you?
I would think I would follow me. I'd follow the bigger me, right?
So if you came across like a giant version of yourself, you would...
Sir, what do you need me to do?
Next up, Fleshcraft. Steve, I love your bat reps with Dark Eldar. Great job.
Thank you.
How about making Dark Eldar Path to Glory-like thing with an with an Archon, creating his own Cabal or Witch Cult, with all the political work of Archons? A bit more narrative than usual.
I'd have fun with it. It'd be cool, but there's a lot of challenges with that. First of all, we'd have to have a lot more Dark Eldar models than I have. Mm-hmm. I'd have to have another person here that would be interested in playing Dark Eldar. Would you do it?
I would do it, but I mean, just the two of us. Some of the Path to Glory stuff works better with more than two people.
Sure, that is true. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be possible. Plus, I'd have to know a lot more about the fluff about the Dark Eldar than I actually do. I really don't know that much, to be honest with you. So it would be probably a little too challenging. There'd be other areas where we can put my energy. It'll be probably a little bit better. But yeah, it'd be, if somebody wrote it, I would play it for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
K13, Steve, if you had to choose the next food challenge, what would it be?
Snickers. It's the Snickers challenge. We need more Snickers.
I've been trying to get them to do raw ginger root.
Yeah, I think I can do that one though. I'm not sure. Because it's a little I don't know. Snickers.
Cool guys who sit at home. How do you think Age of Sigmar is doing now almost a year later? How's it doing for MiniWarGaming? How's it doing for yourself? And how's it doing overall in the world?
I can only speak locally. It's doing well in the stores locally. It's selling and people are playing it. The videos are doing very well here at MiniWarGaming. People are watching them. We're getting signups for them. Around the world, I just don't know. I can only speak to what's happening locally. But I can say this. If you try to book a game here at MiniWarGaming, if you want Warhammer 40K, it's a little harder to get you in. We're so far booked. We're kind of saying, well, you got to be a couple months from now where we can't fit you in. And we're saying the same thing for Age of Sigmar. And we're not saying that for other games like X-Wing, War Machine, and even Warhammer Fantasy. So Age of Sigmar got to the point where we're getting too many people asking to come in, which is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. So they're getting pushed off, and it's harder to get in right now with that. But it's not impossible. So it's probably a good sign for Age of Sigmar, I would think.
Next up, Toby Gaunt89. Hey Steve, question. What is your favorite special rule in 40k? And likewise, which special rule do you dislike the most?
Favorite special rule is probably the blind special rule. It is so good. I like that rule. My least favorite special rule, something's just kind of... There's probably a few that I really find annoying. I'm going to have a perfect answer for this later on. I can't think of it right now. There's got to be something... You can think of anything that annoys me, rule-wise?
I feel no pain usually. Anything.
No, see, I get that. I mean, like for me, I like a rule. The way I'm interpreting this question is, what rule do I really like? I think it's underutilized.
Favorite special rule?
Yeah.
Yeah. Blind,
I think, is my favorite special rule. I think when you've done it to me a couple of games, when you blind your opponent, it's a great thing. It's a great special rule. Blinding and concussive together, and there are probably special rules out there like, that's kind of dumb. I don't like that rule, and I wish they removed that from the game. But I can't. There probably is some I can't think of off the top of my head right now. Sorry.
Next up, you have Gorilla Wings. That pirate ship truck you have looks pretty awesome. Any chance of seeing it in future battle reports outside of Gorka Morka? Also, how do you guys feel about kitbashing from third-party minis when converting your armies?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, kitbash, go nuts, especially with orcs. I'm not a big fan of converting. I know like some people here really love it, like Lee loves it converting. I'm not a big fan of converting, but with orcs it makes sense. So yeah, kitbash your orcs.
And you're cool kitbashing from third-party?
Oh yeah.
Now, for just orcs or everybody else too?
Well, it depends. Yeah, Quirk, bring it over. Quirk is showing his... This is his Morkanaut turned into a battle wagon. It's not quite done, but there's the big gun inside. It's got the claw. The head's been turned into a gunner. He's gonna put barrels coming out the eyes. Like this is so orky. This is awesome. I don't think it makes sense for other armies, though. Other people like it. I think orc just screams, just rip it and mash it together.
Think you're ever going to see it in future battle reports outside of Gorka Morka?
I can't. If I can think of a reason, yeah, you might see it in terrain in some fantasy games.
Angelus619. Steve, have you dealt with someone who hates to lose or takes the loss so seriously takes the fun out of the game?
Me. Quirk. No, I don't. No, we've never had a really sore opponent come in, like a really sore loser. No.
What about outside of work?
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. I was playing Risk with this guy one time who he couldn't win. So his thing was he was just gonna he just kept he didn't play the game. He just stopped. He was a sore loser. He stopped playing the game and he just took his 3 armies every turn and put them into Europe. And he took over all of Europe except for like Russia. Like he just left it open. And he wouldn't play the game. He wouldn't attack. He wouldn't come out. He just kept putting 3 armies in, and skipping his turn. He was kind of a sore loser.
Neat.
It was Josh.
I don't think that's how it went, sir, but
that's exactly how it went.
You get to tell the story that way.
Wait, how did it go then?
Narmstrong. I'm not going to hijack the whole video and tell you why you're wrong about that. I'll do that after the video.
He's a big man.
Narmstrong92. Steve, congratulations on all your work. As a producer, I find your work the most consistent and often most entertaining. If you had to play a Horde army in 40k, what would it be?
I considered playing Orcs before Quirk came over and took that mantle. What other Horde armies are there in 40k? Nids?
Nids.
Not a big fan.
Guard.
Oh, hate them. No. Yeah, Orcs would be the one for me, but I mean, they're kind of in... We don't have a rule around here where you can't play an army that somebody else does, but it's kind of like the unwritten rule. We kind of all try to cover as many different things as possible. So yeah, he's got them. So not like even I own some. I own actually a bunch of orcs I've never painted. There's some on that shelf right there, I think. But yeah, no.
And then give the camera your best smolder, please.
I don't know if I can do a bad one though. So they're all my best. Just any like. Here's the thumbnail.
Next question. That's your best? If you ever pick up his phone, it's literally hours of videos of him just doing that into his phone. So next question. Hey Steve,
Yeah.
if you were an Elven archmage, what lore would you use?
Shadow. A lot of ghostly, shadowy
Kind of a shady
steeds. And
character.
I'm a shady guy. It's like almost like flying and teleportation and shadow. I'm shifty. Not like Quirk shifty, but shifty.
Quirk's a whole different kind of shifty. Next up, evil party girl. Steve, what's with all the shaved heads? Do you, Quirk, and Josh have electric shears in the office?
The shaved head thing is actually I used to shave my head all the time. It was just easier because I used to work outside, and having like sweaty hair is annoying. I'd rather have a sunburn on my head because once you get that burn, you're fine. No, right now I just shave my head. Every time my beard annoys me, I shave my head just to get some hair off the dome somewhere. So that's what it is. And Josh is going bald. That's why he shaves his head.
Yeah. I had nothing clever to do. I'm totally going bald. I just gave up on it. As soon as I started growing out my beard a lot, I've worn it for a long time.
Your body's like, no, we're gonna put it all this way.
It stopped growing on top. So
My hair will not, like I am 34 and I'm not, I don't think I've receded at all. My hair will not, it'll never
you got
go
that
away.
kind of funny patch at the top in the back.
Oh, really?
That's it.
What do you mean footy patch?
Well, it's kind of thinning out right there.
I'm unaware. That's the part. Is it really thinning out?
It's not thinning out. Anyway, I think you were. This was still evil party girl. I want this. So, anyways, she thinks you are many times more handsome with a length of hair. You should let it grow, Steve. Arcan Black. Steve, starting to collect Necrons. Was wondering if you can give any tips. Starting with 1,000 points, thinking of an Overlord with a War Scythe, 2 units of 10 Warriors with a Ghost Arc, 2 units of Immortals, and 2 Triarch Stalkers.
You like Friends? Then nope. No, a good start, honestly, is a very, very, very solid start is 2 Ghost Arcs and 2 units of 10 Warriors. You don't need the Immortals, but they do a very, very fantastic job. After that, Wraiths and Tomb Blades are the most point efficient. No, let's rephrase that. They're the cheesiest thing in an already cheesy book. If you want to go that route. What's fun to play? I don't know, I like Scarabs for some reason. But you get Scarabs when you buy your Warrior boxes, so you get a bunch of them anyway. Yeah, Warriors and Ghost Arcs and some characters. And I don't know. Because there's not a bad thing in the whole book. I can't think of one thing you don't want to use in that book. Maybe Tesla Immortals are not that good anymore, but everything's pretty good in that book. Everything's good in that book.
Next up, Zompa. Happy birthday, Steve!
It's not my birthday.
It's always your birthday.
I know.
Next up, here, you hand me that pen real quick.
I don't know. A pen? It's
straight through.
What's happening?
I'm just gonna mark something off as we're reading through. Fleshcraft. Hey Steve, what pulled you to the Dark Eldar? Their lore, models, gaming?
Oh, the Raider. I wanted to paint a Raider. That was it. That was literally it.
And any reason why you never used the witch cults?
I'm a power gamer. Look at their strength and toughness 3 combat model with only 2 attacks and no special combat weapons. I don't see what purpose they have in the game.
You should try them and see if you can make them work.
They are strength and toughness 3 models with 6-up armor, a pistol, and a 4+ dodge invulnerable save in combat.
Yeah. Use them to see if you can make them work.
No, don't get me wrong. It's a matter of how often would I use them? Not often enough for me to build them and paint them because things take time to do. And the pile of stuff I got to paint never get smaller. So I gotta choose of stuff, what's gonna be on battle reports. Now, there is stuff for Dark Eldar I intend to paint. Some of you can see them, you can't see them. There's 4 boxes of, right about here, 4 boxes of Hellions. They're absolutely terrible, but they look so cool, I need to paint them, because they're almost as bad. But they're almost as bad, they're way more expensive. But they're really cool, I really want to paint them. So you will see them eventually, I just don't know when I'll ever get to those Hellions.
Next up, Steve, what's your favorite Dark Eldar character, including those that have been deleted from the fluff?
There was that one character, the Baron something or other. He was a Hellion.
Phonics?
I don't remember. He was a Hellion character.
Next up, Tyler TT. At Steve, what sort of things do you do come the weekend? Do you still play 40k a bunch? If so, who do you usually play with?
No. I used to play off camera with Josh before he was an employee here. It got to the point where I don't want to play off camera ever. So you guys see like almost 100% of my games. Mm-hmm. If I play a game, you guys are seeing it. I never really get to play off camera to practice something. We did a couple games for 30K, we started them, but we don't really play off camera because every time I start playing a game off camera, I'm like, oh, so I go to camera, I might as well record this.
The only reason we didn't bust up the camera for the 30K is that stuff wasn't done and there wasn't
painted.
Proxying. Wasn't,
yep. And yes, proxying, we trying stuff out. Yeah, every time I play off camera, it feels like a waste. Like there's a buddy of mine was here like 10 minutes ago, well 10 minutes before this started, and he told me there's a tournament this weekend that I didn't even realize, and I could have went, and I just don't feel like playing the tournament because, not that it's not fun to play. I love playing these games, but I just don't want to play off camera anymore for some reason. Can't really explain that. I hope you might understand. I can't really put my thumb on it, but it's more about, it just feels like I'm not wasting my time. That's a terrible way of saying it. It feels like I should be recording it because we can, put it up and people can watch it.
Might as well.
Yeah, that's it. Might as well record it.
Next up, Steve, if Iron Warriors were already taken, what other Legion would you choose? And what's your favorite Forge World model?
I think the Sikaran is a really nice looking vehicle. Proto-Rabo is probably my favorite Forge World model. That's why I'm actually playing Iron Warriors. Yeah, Proto-Rabo. What would I play if they weren't taken? Oh. Well, that's a whole different thing, because if they weren't taken at the time we were picking, I might have chose Imperial Fists, but they were taken at the time. Mm-hmm. I wanted Dark Angels, but it was kind of like, well, don't pick them because they're not currently at the time. Yeah, they didn't have rules. They didn't have rules. They weren't released yet, so I wasn't allowed to really pick them. Not that I wasn't allowed, but I was asked not to. Not asked not to. It was suggested it would be a good idea not to. What else? I don't know. Raven Guard. They're the closest to my style.
Are you still kind of working on them?
Don't say that on camera.
I thought you mentioned it already.
Nope. I don't think I did. Don't talk about that. I'm not. Jokes.
Nos Daddy. Steve, you mentioned sometime back wanting to play Mordheim.
Yeah.
Would you guys show Mordheim bat reps if someone came in to play?
Oh, yeah. If you're local, definitely get in touch with me. We can work something out where we can do like a bunch of games. Yeah. If you're not local, if you're here for a couple of days or whatever, we can do a bunch of games then. Or if you want to come in for a one-off, yeah, we can do that too. I have a couple of war bands. Again, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it in the screen, but I just ordered 3 boxes of Empire Militia because we are going to do a Mordheim campaign. Mm-hmm. We're all going to go with human war bands to start off with, because that militia box, if it's still available, if you guys want to do Mordheim, buy that, because you get 20 guys and every possible weapon you can want for your Mordheim band. That's a great kit. I'm kind of sad that it's gone.
Next up, Mentality. Steve, what do you think of Quirk's morning drive fallen camera show? Yeah, you still think you should tell him about the hole you put in the suction cup?
I don't know what you mean, dude.
Did you mess with the suction cup?
I have no idea. I don't really watch the show because I spend 8 hours a day with him. That's not mean. That wasn't mean to be.
That's
well, no, it's like, anything he's talked about in the morning show, we've probably talked about here. We're pretty open with each other around here. We don't have a lot of secrets around here. We talk about everything. So anything he's done in the morning show, we've probably talked about it afterwards or beforehand anyway. So that's only it. Now, there are a few things I've seen. Like, you guys did the whole Letterkenny
gaming problems.
Yeah, rip off. That was it was. You guys haven't seen that? Go to Quirk's channel. You know what his channel's called? I don't even know what it's called.
Okay, if you go to YouTube and search Quirk.
Quirk, Quirk.
Yep.
And what's it called? Wargamer Problems?
I think he called it Wargaming Problems or something.
Wargamer Problems, guys, it's hilarious. These guys did a good job. It was fun. It was funny.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, I was like, it's not going to be funny. It was funny.
I said the same thing. Quirk kept bugging me. Oh, come on, help me.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Just chuckled after.
Look it up.
Carl, 47. Steve, do you know you have a hidden smiley face on your forehead?
Yes, I do. Want to see it? Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's there. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's there. This is where you ask the questions.
I'm just going to let you keep going here. Wargren, what do you think about a combined Age of Sigmar Warhammer Fantasy Battle narrative campaign? This way you can make both player camps happy.
No, that wouldn't work. Oh, no.
Just terribly upset both camps.
Yeah. No. I don't even know where to begin to write that. If you want like a fantasy campaign with skirmish elements, it'd be fantasy in Mordheim, but not Age of Sigmar in fantasy. It's a different world, different lore. I wouldn't even know where to begin to touch. No, I wouldn't touch that. I'd mess it up.
Lightning Symphony. Steve, question, do you like the Thousand Suns? I'm planning to, after a lot of thinking, play a Thousand Suns army and wish to bring it against one of you guys. However, that also depends on which of you can think of a good reason for them to be battling.
I'll fight you. Because I wanna.
Yeah.
That's all. Maybe you pissed off per Rob one day. We're gonna fight you. Yeah, we'll find a reason. Yeah, come on in, fight any of us. I love to fight Thousand Suns.
Yeah, I haven't seen, we have a
very small one.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a buddy coming in next week to play a little small Thousand Sun game.
Mentality. Steve, you're at a bowling alley. It's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the ball.
Yep.
You're about to bowl, but the pins suddenly turn into mini quirks. Do you go for the strike or purposely throw a gutter ball?
See, there's a bunch going in my head. Am I going crazy? If I'm going crazy, why am I thinking about Quirk? I think I really start analyzing myself. What's wrong with me? Or did somehow somebody out there really turn these pinballs into Quirk? And I'm thinking, who's got a beef with Quirk that they want me throwing these balls at him? So this that's a thinker. That's a thinker.
Next up, Steve, if you had to give everyone a Ben & Jerry's ice cream name, what would it be? No?
I'd call his flavor. How do you spell that?
Next up, I'm not going to try to read your name because I'm going to butcher it. I'm going to try it. Tamu Tohi?
Tohi?
Greetings, Steve. You could have any one item from the Eldar Armory. What would it be?
I don't know. Can I get a Warwalker? No. I would say a jet bike, but I would hurt myself. For the armory. The wings of Felchu. Big old fat guy with wings.
Are you strong enough to get you lifted off the ground?
I don't know.
Steve, do you think any MiniWarGaming staff will cover Halo Fleet Battles? It's a great game and I'd love to see a battle report. Maybe a test game?
I don't even know what it is.
It's a Spartan game.
I don't know what that is either.
The company, I think they're at the UK, it's called Spartan. And they did...
it's a miniatures game?
It's a miniatures. They've done some naval combat stuff. So, Chris and I played Dystopian Wars, Uncharted Seas, and there's another space combat one.
I would never say
never. Did it.
But that's a question for Matthew. He makes those kind of calls. But basically, there'd have to be people around here that would be enthusiastic about it. Mm-hmm. So maybe Josh is because he knows about it. But obviously, I'm not because I don't know about it. So
they put in some really cool games. Quirk has been back and forth on wanting to buy that for himself since it came out. It's an expensive. I think it's like a $200 game to get started though for the starter box.
Oh, dude, what we do ain't cheap.
Oh, not at all. But I mean, this is it's a steep point cost compared to some of the other ones. Where it's $50 to get into the game. So
yeah, sorry, I don't know what it is, but yeah, ask Matthew that question. And if people are watching it, yeah, we might do it.
Email Quirk about it too. Quirk's super excited for the idea of it, but it's going to be
his personal.
It's Halo, yeah.
How many factions are there? 2 or 3?
There's 2.
What about the Flood?
I don't think I have anything yet.
Yeah, sounds kind of limiting with just 2 factions.
Yeah, it could still be fun.
Pong is fun.
Next up, Mentality. Steve, when you first started, you came in to play against Matt, but it seemed like you got a pretty positive response right away. How did it feel? Do you think the viewer response really helped you get the job?
Oh, yeah, actually did. Yeah, it did. For some reason, so many of you asked me to come back, and then they offered me a job. I ain't working right now because of that. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'll let Matthew do whatever he wanted to me.
This one's actually okay. So, Josh, so you read all these weird questions to the guys. Bet you can't wait to get in on this action. Ha
Oh, I'm gonna read all his questions poorly.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna sound everything phonetically.
Gunred, hey Steve, how long have you been painting, and do you have any general tips for those starting out?
Yeah. 20, no, more than 20 years, like 22 years. Over 20 years. Yeah, just keep painting. If you think you're bad, paint more. Strip if you want, don't strip, I don't care about that nonsense. So people say never strip, whatever, just keep painting. You will do it bad 1,000 times, and then you'll do it right. So basically, I can recall where my painting skill kind of, I remember every marker. It was paint clean base coat, throw on ink. I was so happy. Paint clean base coat, throw on ink, give it a light dry brush, even happier. Then it came down to painting clean base coat, throw on ink, and then repaint the whole model, but not get into the edges. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy with my paint work. Everything has basically like a line, what's it called? Whatever. Like an edge. Shell shading, whatever.
The cell shade?
Yeah, whatever that particular thing is called. And I love that. It looks really good. And then I picked up an airbrush. And it's so easy. Painting now, if you get an airbrush and you have the patience to do edge highlighting, Josh gets it. He gets it. Because you can paint an army so fast with an airbrush and an edge highlight. Like, it looks so good.
He's getting me hooked more and more on the edge highlighting, but Steve's getting really good at it and he's really quick. So I'm like, I don't know, do you think, like, I'll bring a mini and be like, do you think he needs an edge highlight? And I'll just put it down in front of Steve and wait.
I like the edge
and then
highlight.
he just, with this color, and he just opens and he just starts painting.
I like the edge highlight. I have some problems, and edge highlighting makes it feel better.
Next up, the Welsh bloke. Steve, since you have had a fair amount of experience with narrative campaigns now, would you consider doing one for Warhammer Fantasy?
I would love to. I've learned I'm not the greatest of writers. Later, dude. That's people leaving the office. It'd be fun. I tell you right now, it'd be so fun to play one of Matthew's Warhammer Fantasy narrative campaigns. But he does not have the time for that. So one day I really should bite the bullet and give it a go. But I don't know about the whole story. I'm not against storytelling. Are you against storyteller?
Tell her no.
Yeah.
I can usually retain.
I'm pretty good at a lot of things. Almost everything. Just about everything, actually. But storytelling is not my strong suit. I could try. I'll definitely try. Be gentle and be kind.
Eisenoggen? You said in a battle report recently that English wasn't your first language, which is why you have trouble sometimes with the ridiculous names and terminology in Warhammer. Can I ask what your first language was?
Yes, it's called English. I'm a native English speaker.
English and bad English? What do you speak?
I have a really long tongue. I have a really big tongue. And I don't know if I've ever told the story before. When I was born tongue-tied, and my parents, good people, love them, didn't get it fixed. Like, he'll be fine. And then when I was 15, they're like, okay, we'll cut it now. So the thing that holds the little piece of skin that holds your tongue down, whatever. I don't have it anymore. They cut it off when I was 15. So now my tongue moves freely. Before, my tongue would go this far. This is a really long explanation, but this is the truth. So I don't really move my tongue a whole lot when I talk. And Josh, I'm being honest.
I know. It's a funny story.
I have a really large tongue that doesn't move a whole lot when I talk, but when I think about it, I can enunciate and pronunciate properly. So yeah, English is my first language. I speak no other languages. I barely speak English. It's a joke. I'm a horrible speaker is all. That's all.
Next up, this is a long one, so we'll break this up into parts. Common ubiquitous scarab. To the one and only Steve at MiniWarGaming. If you could be transported into a Warhammer universe, which one would it be, and why would you? And who would you be?
I don't want to go anywhere near. Okay. I don't care what universe. Probably one of the 40k ones. It's a much bigger universe. I can hide better. And then I want to be like some cook in a factory who doesn't have to worry about like the Imperium or the Warp or the Dark Elder or the Nids. Maybe the Orcs are cool, I'm not sure. I want nothing to do with this scary world. I'm a coward. I'm a coward and I like to hide.
Next up. Also, do you think that Necrons can be corrupted by chaos due to the fact that they retain their conscience and soul? And if so, would they be too OP?
Nope, they have no warp presence, so they can't be corrupted by chaos.
Mm-hmm. Next up, P.S. What is the most
So you get
gimmicky
faces
model?
to the camera.
Huh?
Just give them face to the camera. Yeah.
What is the most gimmicky model in 40k? And what is your favorite model of all time from any era?
The Eldar jet bike. Let's give it all kinds of rules. Where it can go anywhere it wants, and then move after it shoots. And yeah, that's gimmicky. Oh no, the warp spiders. Warp spiders. What's the coolest model? Oh, warp spiders are one of the greatest models too.
You like the warp spider?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Excuse me. Honestly, Games Workshop makes a lot of amazing models. I'm not a Games Workshop fanboy. Maybe I am, but most of their stuff is awesome. It's all pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. There's some bad models, but not that many. Most of the other stuff is really cool. I like all the Necron stuff too, actually. It's all really good.
Next up, Steve. Will we ever see the return of Ratman and Robin?
Ha! Yes. Okay. That's the last question. We're a little over time. Those are two guys that were named in my Mordheim band, my Skaven band. I had Ratman. One had like a red cape or a black cape and a yellow cape. I can't remember. Ratman and Robin. So yeah, you will see them one day again. I don't know if you'll see them on my next Mordheim thing because I don't know if I want to bring Skaven against a newbie from Mordheim. That'd be a little overpowered. But
you're a power gamer though, so.
Yeah, but we all are. Matthew came in and lectured us about this.
It's true.
We're all power gamers. Okay, that's all we have time for today. So I'm going to the vault right now to answer some more questions. Again, if you're not a vault member, you can click the link below. Get yourself a 7-day free trial. It'll cost you nothing if you cancel. You can watch that video and everything else we do at MiniWarGaming. Every battle report we do, there's a pair in the vault as well. Come join us in the vault, guys. Happy wargaming.